Civil Contingencies Act, or CCA, aims to provide a consistent level of civil protection activity across the country. It does this by defining the tasks that certain organisations should be doing and how they should cooperate. If your organisation is a Category 1 responder, then it has a legal obligation to prepare for emergencies and business continuity incidents. And this responsibility is placed on the organisation as a whole. But first, what constitutes an emergency? Under the CCA, it's defined as an event or situation which threatens serious damage to human welfare or the environment, or war or terrorism which threatens serious damage to security. It's about the consequences for the UK, not the cause or source. So it includes emergencies that happen elsewhere in the world if they have an impact domestically. Before we look at the legislation, let's consider this from a personal perspective. What would your expectations be if you, or those close to you, were affected by an emergency? You'd want the authorities to have thought about if such a risk was possible. You'd want them to have planned for it. If the risk was foreseeable, you'd expect to have been informed about it in advance. You'd want all the organisations involved to work together for a common goal and to share information for this purpose. And you'd expect each organisation to be resilient enough to respond effectively, even if they were affected by the incident themselves. The CCA and its regulations places these requirements on organisations which have a role in most emergencies. These are known as Category 1 responders and include the emergency services, local authorities, the NHS and some government agencies. The requirements to cooperate and share information are also given to organisations known as Category 2 responders. These include operators of water, electricity, gas, telecommunications and transport infrastructure, and some other government agencies, all of whom have an important role in ensuring the country's resilience. There is a third group that Category 1 responders must bear in mind when carrying out their duties. These are generally voluntary organisations. Other organisations, such as the military, fall outside the framework of the CCA, but they can be involved in certain circumstances. So how is this all coordinated? Each area of the country has a multi-agency partnership called a Local Resilience Forum, or LRF, which carries out this work. Category 1 and 2 responders and other organisations meet through the LRF to build resilience to a broad range of disruptive scenarios. This includes anticipating future challenges, assessing risks and preventing them where possible, preparing through the development, training and review of emergency plans, and validating these arrangements through exercises, responding to incidents when they occur and recovering from their effects, and learning from incidents locally and elsewhere. Each organisation remains responsible for fulfilling its own duties under the CCA, but it is the LRF that provides the structure within which they can cooperate. Well-run LRFs can help to ensure that organisations fulfil their responsibilities and that our expectations for a consistent and effective approach to civil protection are met.